Hi, this is Brad with Encompass Purpose. We've all made errors, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. You know, the way we've dealt with Millennials or Gen Y, and then also the Gen Zs. And we all like to blame them, but the truth is, who are their parents? Who are their teachers or employers? We're to blame. So who failed who? No matter who you think failed each other on that. The millennials are the fastest growing segment of the workforce. They were born between 81 and 96. Their population is 72,600,000. So when we're talking about them, and then the Gen Zs, which are 61 million just in the U.S., and the U.S. Census Bureau says by 2030 they will be 30% of the population. So it doesn't really take a math magician to know we need them more than they need us. And you'll find out some of the models we talked about last time, some of the coaching we talked about last time, why Gen Y and Gen Z will be needing that more than ever. And they've grown up around that kind of thing more than ever, so it's a norm to them. They demand a lot and they want instant gratification and feedback. So them coaching and different modalities that we talked about, you'll need to do that, or else you're going to have a poor organization, poor profits, poor employees, and high turnover. So I've been researching Gen Z and Gen Y, and I'll have to say I was wrong about quite a few things. And that happens a lot when you're ignorant about something. You think you have it figured out, and then it's not the way it is at all, to tell you the truth. So 2020 is a wake-up call, and we have to get used to millennials. They're our new workforce, and you can keep doing things kind of the way you've been doing them for 30 years, but the problem is they didn't work that great 30 years ago. And now with millennials, they're a lot different, and we're going to go over some of that right now. But one thing with millennials, they're multitaskers. They can juggle a lot, and that means they're easily distracted too, though. And as far as social media and texting, it's hard for them to resist that. But what that means is if you assign them tasks and keep them on track and be upfront about your expectations, establish daily and weekly goals, the millennials actually are really good at meeting deadlines. You'll be less likely to find them playing on the phone or, talking at the office. They'll be enjoying their jobs. They like a variety of different things going on, a lot of diversity, and different things every day really help millennials. Now, the second thing we'll talk about a little bit is they're connected. They grew up using social media. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. That's where they get all their information. So it's really important for companies to keep up on the social media part of it so that the millennials can know that they're relevant. Keeping the outlets active at all times. Not just jobs and product updates, but conversations that you want to engage your employees with or, people with. Because it is your biggest customers will be the millennials and the Z generation. They're really tech savvy, and there's no doubt you have to be tech savvy with them, or they'll lose interest in your company or your organization. Even if it's a church, there's certain things that are changing with the new generations, and especially with 2020. Where a lot of the tapings and live feeds are happening now, and that's something that's just going to keep continuing. Now, why they're tech-savvy, Gen Z is even going to surpass Gen Y in technology. And that means you have to be mobile optimized. You have to have all your devices and a huge online presence in different ways. It's not just about having a website or a Facebook anymore. There's a huge amount just to do on the online presence part of it. So now the other thing is about millennials, they're very curious. They're a curious generation. and they have a lot of soft skills. So that plays a vital role in the company's success. And soft skills are important already to companies, but it's growing daily. And the soft skills will help you with the millennials with fewer bad decisions, more innovation, and a stronger team performance. Millennials are very much team-oriented instead of individualist. And they want to be involved and be in the loop. They want to be coached. They want instructions. They want modalities that they know work and work well. And different lean management skills really work well with the millennials, because they don't mind doing the hard work. They don't mind putting in the effort, but they do want it laid out for them and a proven way to do it. So if you're going to retain and hire curious people, you better showcase the coaching, the learning, and the development opportunities available at your organization. So if you're going to hire and retain curious people, you better showcase the coaching, the learning, and development opportunities you have available for them. The benefits, or even if you subsidize them, it really reflects your branding as an employer or organization. And what it does is show them with the soft skills perks that somebody else might have, and it helps you retain them. The modalities were talked about last time, and some of the lean management techniques, the coaching, all that is not something that's going to go away anytime soon. It's going to increase with Gen Z. So you're pretty safe to start implementing these. But the good thing is, a lot of these implementations, they're benefits to them, but they also help the company or organization's bottom line. So it's really a benefit to you to be able to give these to your employees or people in your organization. So it's kind of a win-win where you both will benefit from all of this. Now, one thing with millennials, they want instant gratification and recognition. They need to feel why they're important and why they're on the right track. And it sounds kind of needy, and it really is. But millennials grew up with constant praise. The baby boomer parents, it's what they did, so it's what we have now. And the best ways is just what we were just talking about up top there. If you want to retain and recruit good employees, you're going to have to process benefits such as coaching and learning. They like to keep their self-development up. And these systems are important for them, so they know they're valuable and they know the contribution they make. They recognize their accomplishments publicly, and they like reward programs and quantitative milestones, so that way it encourages recognition, and that's one thing millennials definitely like. So it increases their job satisfaction so that you retain the employees and you can get the better skilled employees. Now, one thing definitely different with the millennials is the work-life balance and the flexibility. In former generations, we would sacrifice some of our personal life to advance their careers. And not that millennials don't like to work. They like to work, but they like to play hard also. So they want a company or organization that appreciates more flexibility at work, and they will pretty much demand more flexibility than previous generations. They believe organizations should also support various causes. And they want that work-life balance, the charity, the benefits, the volunteer work. They will do that with the company also. Also, another thing that's coming up more is any fitness or health-related programs. That provides your employees with, again, a win-win with the companies because they're healthier, they're at work, and it just is another one of them soft benefits that really help both ways. So when you're thinking about starting all these policies, and make sure the millennials are involved in the meetings. And again, it's not like they don't want to do work. They do really well with deadlines and goals. They like to be involved in the meetings. They like time in, time out options. They don't mind working from home. And it's happening more and more. But the thing with millennials, you have to give direction. And when you do give direction, let them run with the ball and just have the deadline already set. They have that in mind. And so in a way, it's actually a better system than what we've been used to the last 30 years. But it's just a different system. And every generation, of course, is a little different. So one thing millennials do like a lot is collaborating. And they like the lean, the agile teams, the coaching, the organized decisions, involvement in building friendships with colleagues. They're very team-oriented that way, where they don't like to be loners. They like collaborating and being involved in different parts, even if it doesn't directly affect them sometimes. So you always have to keep that in mind, the collaboration and team projects that are important. Transparency is very important to millennials, and so is authenticity. And millennials gravitate towards companies that are reputable and straightforward. They want to be exposed to as much realness, I guess, even if it's bad words or bad news, rather than just sales jargon and marketing and meaningless buzzwords. They really don't like that. They want to keep it factual. They want to keep it real. The modalities and systems they like are important, and it's why coaching to them is almost mandatory. They can get their direct results, the results they like to see right away, and it's authentic and it's factual. And so that's why a lot of these soft benefits went from possibilities or options to almost mandatory now with the new generations coming up running the workforce. So what that means is we kind of have to stop the corporate speaking. We have to focus on speaking like a normal person, to put it bluntly. You don't need to try to adopt millennial speaking, and that probably wouldn't be good because it wouldn't be authentic. You just want to relate to them in a truthful, honest manner. And again, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but millennials like facts and proven systems. They don't like going out on a limb. They don't mind going out of the box, but they want to try to make sure what they're doing is going to have a good end result. So now they want to feel like they have an open and honest relationship with their managers and coworkers. They don't want any nasty surprises. They want an assurance of opinions and values that collate with theirs. And they want to receive good feedback, but they also want feedback, whether it's negative or positive. They want a good deal of feedback so that they know how they can improve, how they can adjust, and how they can keep moving. And that's, I think, one of the big misunderstandings about millennials is they don't want to work. No, they want to make sure they're working well. So what it all means for you is a lot of transparency, and appreciate the honesty that they want, and they appreciate the honesty you give them. Give them feedback that they desire daily. And if you don't have time to do it, make sure the managers have time to do it. You'll also have help. I believe all companies will have either in-house or outside coaches. Some will have both. I think that'll help a lot too, where almost go down like and just get feedback anytime they want, or pick up the phone, send an email to their coach, bouncing ideas off of them. That's going to be something that's not going to go away anytime in the next 40 years. Between millennials and Gen Z, it's something that's definitely going to be around. So the career advancement. Millennials do want career advancement. They want to know that they have the opportunity to advance. They want to know they can develop in a company. They want to develop their careers within the company they choose to join. And if not, what that's going to mean is they're going to be going to a different company, and you're going to pick up employees that really don't have much interest in much of anything. And is that really the talent pool you want? And I don't care here if we're talking about nonprofit organizations, churches, businesses, if you're a sole proprietor or a solo entrepreneur. You're going to be working with these people as customers or as colleagues or associates or employees, and you're going to have a choice whether you want to adapt or if you want to do status quo and slowly just kind of drift away. The talent likes to rotate through different divisions, and the organizations, they'll move laterally. You can cross-train them. They actually like diversity, so that works out well. You'll have a significant boost in retention, and it helps the employees find a place where they'll thrive. You'll get organically people wanting to work with you just because they can utilize that, and they get the feedback, they get the performance, they get the planning and the goals, and their coach and cross-training into the best fit for them and for you. Now, back to the diversity part of it, Millennial and Gen Z, for that matter, care deeply about diversity. They're suspicious of companies that only want to pay lip service. So really keep the real thing, just down-to-earth talking. None of what I'm saying here you have to do. I'm just suggesting it. It's from researching and talking directly with the generations. So I can say for sure it's factual, but it's up to you. We avoid facts a lot, and it's up to you if you want to avoid the facts and keep doing what you're doing, or if you want to start a new way of doing it. So what this means for you is an emphasis on your company's commitment to diversity and inclusion across your employee and employer branding channels. Don't be afraid to admit when you're falling short and acknowledge it. That is something that they really, really want you to do. If you start doing the gimmicky, sales pitchy thing, the rah-rah, it's not going to go very well. And so you got to start showing and taking positive steps to help build trust with millennials. Now, reflecting on that, just what we discussed, the facts and realities that sugarcoating and status quo, it's not going to work between Gen Y and Gen Z. You'll cease to exist. There's, especially 2020 has really been a great thing for this. It's been definitely a challenging year, but people finally woke up and realized you can't just keep doing what you're doing. And people are really grabbing on to change and a better way of doing things, a better change. And you can have a positive attitude, you need one, but you also need facts, and you need to do things in a certain way, and you need to make certain changes. Every generation brings their own challenges, and millennials are no different. The more you know, the better off your organization will be. And I can say one thing for certain, it looks like the number of millennials, we definitely need them more than they need us. So it's absolutely won't be the last time we discuss this. On the next podcast, we'll be talking about Gen Z and the ways to work with them with the new normal. And also, we'll be talking about some of the guests we have coming up. We have some spectacular people coming up on the show, but we don't want to announce it quite yet because we want to kind of get through these facts and through some of this basic foundation. Then we'll be going on to a little bit more fun stuff, to be honest. A little being able to interview some of the people about the changes other companies have made, changes other organizations have been made. And we're talking about some major organizations that I think it'll be really fascinating for you. We'll also be talking to different industry experts about different things like optimism and just different modalities. I'm talking to people with Scrum and Agile and different Kanban. We'll be talking to people about the optimism and positive attitudes and how important the soft skills are. We already know that with corporations, but now with millennials and Gen Z, it is a whole new ballgame. So God bless, have a spectacular week, and we'll talk to you next time where we'll get started on Gen Z.